Hi guys, I have started a little project, which is, there's some things I still need to explain about this, but I was playing with new Soutache that came from Poland, and as you can see, look at the white thread. You can see it's much more smoother. It's getting better. I think that has to do with my Polish thread that I got. It is very shiny. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I should get the other ones too from the bag. I got a couple of different colors. It's very shiny, as you can see. But it is not as shiny as the real rayon, which is this one. This is way more shiny. It is also a little stiffer, and to work with it is just wonderful. It seems like it's also a little thinner, but I'm not really sure about that. It's really wonderful stuff. It's very cheap also, and I really enjoyed that, so I'm going to replace these with the rayon that I've been using before, because that's just too slippery for me right now, and I'll probably still be using that. Oh, here maybe you can see it really good. This is the 100% rayon, and this is the one that I got from Poland. So this doesn't look really shiny compared to that. And, oops. But it also doesn't have the ends that are really bad like that. And it looks a little thinner. But that might just be an optical illusion, because this automatically falls open as soon as you put it on your finger. So yeah, this is weaker compared to this. This is a little stiffer, and it's wonderful to work with, I have to say that. And it's nice, and it's soft, just like this. This is a little softer, but this is really soft too. And I really love this one. So I've been working with that in here. That's the white one right there that I used, and I'm very pleased with the result. So what I did here was I started with 3 braids right here, going around, and then when I was at the end, I added from the beginning 2 more braids. That was easier than to go through 5 braids at once. So I did 3, and then I added 2. When I went around to 3 with the beads, and then I took the other 2 and I went around again. And I did the same thing with the pearl. I went around to 3 threads, and then I did the other 2. Then when I went around, I came out on the back with my 5 threads, and I split them up. And I just took 3 braids. The other ones I taped and cut off. So you can see, right here are the 3 that I came out of, and the other 2 are right underneath here, cut off. So I took the other 3, and then I started adding the seed beads in between. And when I came back, I did another curve, and I went to the back. And then I taped all my braids up, so that the 3 that were there already that I cut off, or the 2 that were there already that I cut off previous, and then the 3, and I taped that all up. So that's basically what I did, and I think it looks really good. I'm going to do a little stitch for Soutache that winds up looking like a snake. Instead of using a bicone, however, which I usually see used for this, I'm going to use a bead that goes in here. But that little, whatchamacallit, like snake-like thingy always starts with the beginning, where everything is closed up. So I got to get my braids together and close that up. As well as possible. Glasses do come in handy. But I still have to make sure that my braid shows. And I see this done mostly with one braid, but because I want to make a decoration for this one, I'm using 2 braids. So you can do this with 1 braid and just close that off. I'm going to use this as a decoration on the side. So I see people doing this, and I really love this, and it's more of a modern Soutache. This is something that I would use leftover thread for to decorate with, but I want to show you this one because it's really cool. Okay, and I think this is about the part where I want to be at, so I'm going to go up and down a little bit more. And then I'm going to open it up like that. And I'm going to take my thread and go in to the middle. And pretty close to where you closed it up, right there. Take my bead, put that down, and then I'm going to go and close that up around it and just go to the side. Right there. Go up again. Back in. And to the side. And we can close this up a little further if we have to. But make sure that it's tight first. Okay. So now I got one side attached. I'm going to the other side. And I'm going to come out on the other side and go into my bead. And I'm going to put that around here. I'm going to cut that off for a second because that's really annoying and probably in the way. I really need a pair of sharp scissors. There. Okay, now I'm going to put that around here and just kind of, it's better to go a little back. And go back in there. And up. And I'm going to go into the side here. Oh, I'm going to go into this side. That's where it came from. And I'm going to try and see if I can close that gap up a little bit more. You can also, of course, use a seed bead to go in the middle, if you still have space, depending on how big your bead is, I would say. But this works fine. And now I'm going to go up in the middle, going down, making sure I'm not going through my Soutache, and I'm going to go to the side, and now I'm basically going to close that up. So, and whether you use a Swarovski 4mm or whatever else kind of beads you might have in the house, this is so awesome. Look, it looks like a sort of an Egyptian eye. How cool is that? And these little decorations, I think I could call them that, are used a lot for people when they have leftover Soutache. So that's why I say don't throw away your leftover Soutache. So this is definitely one of those things you can do with them. Okay, and then people twist them and turn them. You know, they just braid them up, or they add beads in between here, and they just stick them out in all kinds of directions. If you would Google Soutache, you would see what I mean. Now what I'm doing for this bead is because it's a little bit different shaped, it's not round, I'm just going to do one side over here and tie that up instead of pre-curving any further. I am making sure, however, my braids are nice and stiff and tight. Okay, I think I got that angle pretty much. Now I'm going to go in my bead. And I'm going to tie that around. And I'm going to go into an area right here, which is above where the actual hole is, okay? So it won't be right. You got your bead coming out over here somewhere. See, it doesn't look right. But if you tighten it up like that, and you go back in there, let me get rid of that thread first. If you go back in there, it doesn't look right. It's like the threads are straight down, and it just doesn't look right. But if you tighten that up and you go back in there and stay in about the same spot, go back into the bead and try and pick up an area, maybe a little higher. Carefully, carefully, because now you're also closing that up. You're just picking it up a little higher. And then you're picking it up a little higher again. And going back in there. And picking it up a little higher again on this side. You're slowly starting to make that, oh, this one isn't quite right in the middle. You're slowly starting to close this up just by picking it up a little higher every time. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm picking that up a little higher, getting closer to the hole level now, to the level of the hole, straight line. Pulling that closer. Going in a little bit to get to the hole. And I'm already at the hole here, pretty much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that up, push that through, and then I'm going to go into the hole again, and I'm going to take this side and tighten that as much as I can by also going way back here. So I went way back, and now I got to find my way back to the hole, but closer, closing up with little baby steps. Back into the hole, up, above your thread, pull that tight, and you can lean a little bit to your right if you like. See, I'm not going through that hole right away, or I'm not going through that braid right away, because I don't want that braid to be stuck if that hole's not closed up really good yet. So I got this, and it's nice and tight. Going back into the hole now. Right there. And I'm going to pull that in just a little bit more. Right there. And to get that where I want it, I need to go up above the hole a little bit. And now I'm going straight in, because now I feel confident that everything is in its right place. And now this is my front. I'm going down like that. And I'm going to go to the side. And I'm going to close that up. And that's way much easier than having to pre-curve a purl. And now, if I choose to, I could add another layer of black, if I choose to. You can still get in between here. And then it would look really nice rounded, but I don't want it rounded. I want that square to show a little bit. So I'm going to close this up a little bit more, and then I'm just going to add my other beads right here on the side. Okay,